What is he doing?
Let me turn this car down a little bit. Hey. It's not too hot. Yeah, it's good. I think it's good. All right, I ain't gonna be on here long. I'm out here waiting on my son to pick him up from school. So it's June 6th. Got through with my psych eval for my surgery, right? And at the end of it, get this out the way. She was like, "You're a candidate, right? I think you show optimistic, and you. I don't get ahead of myself, but she said you're a candidate for the surgery, so nothing she see will, hold me back from having my surgery." All right, so I'm not gonna be on here long. So let me go ahead for anybody who watched this, right? Or you searching the internet and you trying to figure out what is a psych eval, what's the purpose of talking to a psychiatrist for weight loss surgery, right? I can only speak for myself, right? That's all I can do. All right, so because I was lost, right? I was lost in that thing. How mine was, and I can't be certain, but I think they waited for my psych eval. I think my psych eval was the last thing. I think most people who go through this is the last step, is the psych eval, right? So how it was, I did my initial consultation, right? And my initial consultation was a group setting, right? All right. After that, I did my consultation one-on-one with my surgeon, with the surgeon team, the nurse, the doctor, and whatnot. And they weigh you, they get your height. They tell you a little bit more about the procedure that you got in the initial consultation, right? The group meeting, right? They tell you a little bit more, right? With me, my weight, I was at that time, I was 400 pounds. So my surgeon, she came to me and she was like, "Look, there's a lot of fatty, you need to lose 50 pounds, all right? Because with people, especially men, there's a lot of fat tissue down there, and we need to make your stomach smaller. So lose 50 pounds before we can proceed further." And that's how I started, right, with my weight loss journey, right, losing that 50 pounds. Hey, sorry about that. I'm good. I think I'm good. All right, sorry about that. Cut the AC off in the car, and the sun was coming down on it, and it overheated and shut down. But hey, it is what it is. I'll just stitch these videos together. I left off with the dietitian. So with my dietitian, I had to lose 50 pounds. And right now I'm sitting at 245. But that's not part of the this video. Alright? The whole purpose of this video is to talk about the psych eval. Alright, so after that, it started my weight loss journey. When I got done with the dietitian, my next stage was the what was it? Behavioral health. Oh, was it behavioral health? Yep, it was. I think it was behavioral health. Yeah, where you have to go to these classes and go to 2 classes. Learn about the the different surgeries and how your behavior will dictate, the outcome of what you want. And they talk about the diet and all that. They do 2 of those classes, right? And then once I got done with that, I had to do my psych eval. This is the part right here. The reason I'm telling you all this, right, is not to brag. It's because it's pretty much like an exam on the psych eval. She's gonna ask you, or he, she, they, them, however you want to say it, right? they're gonna ask you. Well, she asked me. Just talk about me now. What What do you think about the weight loss surgery? What type of weight loss surgery you think you're getting? All right. And I told her, I'm using the gastric bypass. Explain the procedure, like explain what you think you know about it, and tell her what it is. All right. Then she was talking about, after the surgery, like, what do you? And it's a pamphlet I showed y'all in the previous videos. You gotta read that because she was talking after the surgery. What kind of diet you might be on. Talk about the liquid diet and work your way up to, solid foods every 2 weeks, right? So these are things that, they're gonna ask you. They're gonna ask you about, you know, how much food you're gonna be able to eat after the surgery. I said the palm size, not the whole hand, but the palm size of the hand, and mostly proteins and whatever left over, your carbs and whatnot. Okay. So her job is to see, is you there in the head? While you're going through all these steps, did you retain it? Do you understand what's going on? Right? And that's the little exam I'll tell you about. But that was just one portion. She went over my whole medical record. That took a lot of time. She would explain like anything. Like before, I don't know if I put this on there. Before the day before you do it, they're gonna see you at these questionnaires. So, 6, 7 links. They did for me, and you have to answer all these questions, and they go over it. Right? I remember on one of them, they was asking about my PTSD and all that. I said, I really don't. They asked me, do you avoid it? I said, I don't avoid it. I just don't talk about it. And they kind of threw a red flag up. So she asked about that. I said, yeah, why would you talk about something like that? She said, it makes sense. It makes sense. All right, so what else? She was go over your whole medical record, and that right there was a lot of time consuming because you have to. If you get a right doctor like she gave me, right? She was just going in chronological order, which made it easier for me to remember things, right? I thought it was bouncing back and forth, and she gave me time to think about, what happened in 2016, what happened in 2015, what happened in 2014, the weight gain. And, I'm jumping over the place because I pretty much said it in the other video, but it got cut off. And I got to prepare for dinner. But I promise you, what I'm saying is everything is in my head as how I recalled it. So, you do that, and then they're going to ask you about your diet. Like, what is your diet? What is your eating habits right now? Not in the past. They want to know your eating habits now. Are you a binge eater? Are you an emotional eater? And what do you eat? So I pretty much told them about the keto diet, high protein, low carbs. You know what I'm saying? And I think she know about the keto diet, but she wanted to know my knowledge. Like, what's that? Tell me about the keto. I broke it down to the keto. And I told her about the MCT oil. She's like, what is the MCT? Now, I don't think she knew about that because she looked it up. She said, oh, okay. She said, tell me more about MCT oil. As I used it earlier, my weight loss journey to help me with my cravings and give me energy and all that. So, okay. And this is the part of the second valve. So don't think you're going to go there and they're going to mess with your head. They're not messing with your head. They're going to look at your medical record to see if everything right in it. Right? That questionnaire I told you about, they said they're going to send you, they sent me the day before, any red flags can go over there. So make sure you answer that accordingly. Right? Don't take it for granted. But they're gonna go. That's your baseline. They're gonna go off of. They're gonna go over your diet, right? Like, what do you eat now? Are you a binge eater? Are you an emotional eater? What are some of the things you're gonna do when you get stressed out? When you get stressed out, how do you cope with your stress? Stuff like that, right? I told them about. I go for walks. I do my swim. I get away from the environment. It's stressing me out. Stuff like that. Take deep breaths. Grounded myself. Stuff like that. What else? But yeah, um, she gave me the good news. And I feel glad. I'm happy that pushing on further. But I think that was pretty much it. She told me right off the bat, like at the end of the conference, she was like, "Hey, you good. You're a good candidate. I don't see anything wrong with it." Um, but yeah, when people say don't stress about it, don't stress about it, but take it seriously. Um, because I think she was the last one, right? That the psych eval. I don't know if I said it in the other video. I think that was the last one, right? Because everything else got approved. Did both my behavior, nutrition. She signed off on it. So I got down to the certain weight. Um, my surgery, person, the doctor, the surgeon, she told me, hey, if you get down to a certain weight, you're good. So I'm good with her. Um, the only thing that I forgot to talk about was, you know, my, I don't know if I said it, my blood work, right? Those all out of whack, right? And I was deficient.
All right. Make this real quick. Pretty much what I left off of is they didn't want to make your mind. They just want to make sure you know what you're getting yourself into. It's not a process of elimination. All right. Their job is to make sure you understand what's going on, and so they ask you questions about what you learn about the surgery. This is for me, what they did for me. All right. They go over your medical record to understand. You know, do you understand your medical record? Right. Uh, so will they give you a survey? I don't know, but they gave me one, like a questionnaire, right? And as long as you answer the questions right, ain't like quarreling, you don't got anything that's crazy on there, it's gonna go through smooth. Um, don't stress about it. Be a normal person. Don't be sweating bullets. I went there, I was very normal. Um, anyway, y'all take it easy out there.